Chapter 18 is about innovation, and I bring some different principles, but for innovation to occur powerfully, in my opinion, you must do four things. One is you have to inoculate fear, because fear, when you're scared, you're safe. When you're safe, you don't take risks. Without risks, you don't have any innovation. Number two is innovation is oftentimes perceived as these big, grand gestures, grand moves. But actually, I believe that innovation is small, incremental improvements, iterations that all lead up to larger innovation within an organization. And so we need to be thinking about innovation in terms of smaller increments, day-to-day things that we can do to improve. The third thing is you as the leader should be essentially irrelevant to innovation. And I think that's somewhat backwards thinking in relation to most leaders think that they're the ones that have to lead the charge on innovation, right? And they need to be the ones bringing the big ideas. You think of Steve Jobs and, Elon Musk and so on. And yeah, I mean, those guys are freaking geniuses, right? But then there's the rest of us. And oftentimes leaders get in the way of innovation because they stifle independent creative thought within the group, because when a leader engages, they steer that conversation, they steer the innovation in the direction that they think it should go. So number three is that you as a leader should be somewhat irrelevant, not totally irrelevant, but somewhat irrelevant to the process. And then finally, innovation you don't check a box on innovation. Innovation inside of an organization is just a way of life, every single day, just constantly trying to improve and trying to get better. This is also the chapter where I introduced the concept of superorganisms, and I talked about that in my speech at BNS this year. And the concept of a superorganism is that basically in nature, superorganisms are powerful, and they depend on the collective whole to make every individual within the organism increase their odds of survival. That's what superorganisms in nature do. And I think there's just an incredibly straight line correlation to the human proposition, right? Inside of organizations, right? Like if we can all contribute to the whole, we're all going to make each individual's opportunity within an organization stronger and better and so on. But what do superorganisms do? Superorganisms, they cultivate collective intelligence. They take advantage of swarm creativity, making and breaking connections between members as needed. They rely on distributed leadership. They depend on reciprocity. And they compound the regenerative value. So they need the environment that provides this, or they feed the environment that provides this nourishment, this regenerative capacity. So thinking about companies as organizations thinking about companies and organizations as biological formations that are constantly morphing and evolving is one of the most powerful ways we can innovate and grow. We are collections of human beings coming together to accomplish work, and I don't think there's really anything more biological than that. The idea that we brought many years ago in relation to spheres, we weren't calling it biomimicry at that moment. We didn't know how, but that's really the concept behind spheres, right? That spheres they evolve, they morph, they grow in size, they decrease in size, they overlap, they interconnect, and so on. And that was the idea behind the spheres concept. And finally, in terms of innovating, being ready to innovate, again, there's just really three concepts in Chapter 18, broader concepts. And one is you never check the box on innovation. Two, you have to look around you for inspiration. Look everywhere, even in nature. And then finally, keep your circle of influence broad and diverse when you're trying to be innovative. So that's chapter 18. It's about innovation. We all know, everyone knows that we must innovate to remain strong and powerful as an organization. And innovation, there's concepts that can make our organization and make any organization more powerful in relation to innovation. And that's what I try to communicate here in chapter 18.